long turn or what?
Oh, I did. I missed the par five. I hit it to the left. I had to double chip. I got on the side of the hill.
Oh, that.
Just to show he's human.
That's the one
Yeah,
you missed. You were
exactly.
8 feet off of it in two.
Yeah.
That doesn't count.
Life is hard.
Yeah, that's golf, as we say. So I guess let me start with Dave. What, and this will go for all three of you, but what memories did actually being back here conjure?
Well, and this is going to sound cliche, but that week, I wasn't nervous because I was just playing some golf. Didn't think of it as a national championship. What I remember most is the hospitality.
Yay, Brooklawn!
The family I stayed with, the Van Ettens. Someone peep up. Just were tremendous, and we stayed in touch for years. And that to me is what it was all about.
Yeah.
I've played, not thousands of tournaments. Whatever he's played, I played 1/3 of it. But I played a lot of tournaments, and those weren't my memories of any of those tournaments. It was not the hospitality. But anyway, that's what I remember. We really embraced this when we came to this golf course.
Did being here today, she's come stir anything up you hadn't thought about?
Well, I hit it 45 yards shorter.
I hadn't thought about that.
The trees are 45 feet taller. Those that are left, it looks like it thins some things out. But of course, when you leave here, you think of the greens.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Tillinghast design. And of course, it was, I don't know if the superintendent's here. Is he around?
I don't think he is. Yeah.
What a job.
Sleeping, I get up early.
Yeah, he did a good job.
What a job.
Yeah.
And the dining staff here, everybody's just, wow, I don't want to leave. I told
Nice.
Susan DiCarlo, how long can I stay?
Check the tee sheet for the morning.
So I don't want to play for golf. Stay either in the grill or out here.
Okay, this is nice. Good spot. Mark, how about you? What?
Well, my memories was the committee being so welcoming. When we registered, they made things fun for the players. We had a nice pool party. That's what I remember.
As a 17-year-old boy.
And I tell you, a 17-year-old, and yes. Sorry, honey.
I think.
Say no more. Chip was the golf course, I don't know, as David said.
What I remembered were the bunkers were deep.
Yeah.
And they were challenging. And I remember I grew up in deep bunkers on a Donald Ross golf course, and so it seemed like this was very similar to where I grew up. The slight dog legs. It wasn't sharp dog legs. It was slight dog legs, which I love.
Yeah.
Our course had that, and so I just remember how deep the bunkers were, and that Sarah's had invented the sand wedge here, and that it was. When I woke up this morning, I thought to myself, I cannot believe I'm going back to a place where I had a good tournament. I enjoyed it, and I'm 50 years later going to go back. I was thinking how grateful I am to be here and to have the opportunity to come back.
Sure.
And so I felt blessed, really, that God has blessed me with all the travel, with all the issues that go on with driving and flying, and I'm still here. It's pretty amazing. And I thought about also that to make 65 years old anywhere else in the world, you have like a 7% chance. In America, I'll be 68 in September. It's pretty amazing, isn't it?
No, here.
So I just felt fortunate to be able to come back and really enjoy this when I can. I mean, when I was a kid, I was trying to hunker down and play as well. I worked at it to get where I was.
If I may,
Sure.
on behalf, I think, of Mark and I.
And myself, I'm
Well,
sure.
no, this is gonna be.
Okay.
This is gonna be a dig at you.
Okay.
I just wanna thank Joe Walters. Nobody remembers that name, do they?
No.
He beat Chip in the first round.
He became a college suite mate, and I didn't even know that until like 3 years ago.
But we wanna
He
thank
said,
him.
Chip, you know I beat you. I said, what? And I said, wow, that's amazing. And I think he brought
Oh, that's
the
funny.
program.
That's funny.
Showed
Yeah.
me the program. I said, gosh, let me look at that.
That's funny.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And he, sure enough.
You know, and someone beat Payne Stewart in the first round, it's just, and then two friends from Northern California,
Yeah.
where Mark would win 3 out of 5 times anytime we played. Outstanding player.
Oh,
He
yeah.
won everything as a kid. I remember Mark just from,
I cheated.
Yeah.
I did cheat. But anyway, I just thank Joe Walters.
So y'all, I mean, junior golf, y'all were together. What age did y'all start playing together?
Mark played earlier than I did, but certainly from 14 on.
Mhm.
Wow.
I would stay at his home in Pebble Beach when a tournament was near there. He would stay at my home in the Central Valley, Merced. That's kind of, you know, he practiced more than the rest of us.
well, Florida and California were the hotbeds for
Yeah. I mean,
professional
junior
golfers
golf-
coming out of there.
Yeah.
Mark O'Meara, John Cook,
Exactly.
they were my age. Bill Glasson,
Mhm.
Corey Pavin, Waldorf, they're all from California.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
then the guys from Florida, you know, Coke and Bean, and so there were a lot of guys.
So you had a really
It was
interesting field here. You had a great field here.
Yes. No, there was a lot of guys who, and I recognize a lot of names of guys that almost made it on the tour.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And in our day, it wasn't easy to make the tour because I've qualified twice. My first year, 1978, fall of '78, I finished second. And then I went, and I didn't qualify for a tournament until July of that year at the Western Open. And I finished 15th, something like that, 15th or 14th, and I made $1,500. And like I was telling Gia that I played well towards the end of the year, and I failed keeping my card by less than $100.
Oh,
And I
wow.
didn't even make $7,000. I made $6,500. So I went back, qualified again. I finished second to Jim Thorpe, and then I was able to make the enough to keep my card and all
Yeah.
that. But yeah, it was. I remember growing up in North Carolina, we didn't play in any wind, and so I got to Phoenix. It was blowing 100 miles an hour. I would say it was blowing a sustained 30 miles to 35 miles an hour. And I was playing Pinnacle Peak, and there was nothing out there
Pinnacle
at
Peak.
the time.
On the Monday qualifier?
Yeah, on a Monday qualifier.
yeah.
And then I went to Dallas and we played at Preston Trails. It was blowing 50 miles an hour.
This
But
is
every
like
place we
50
went,
guys for 3 or 4 spots.
yeah, it was amazing. I thought, wow, they'd have 350 guys. Like I went to Phoenix, 4 courses, 150 guys for 1 guy at each course. That's how
Wow.
So we really, McCord came up with that all exempt tour. That really helped the players
Yeah.
because you shouldn't have to do that.
Yeah.
And that's a little bit
It's
too
hard
severe.
it was hard to plan your year. You know.
And you had a lot of guys
You
that would.
qualified on Monday, got in on Thursday, made the cut
Yeah, it
Friday.
wasn't a peak.
You didn't have to do the Monday, you wanted, so you never took a week off if you kept rolling that over.
Yeah.
Sure.
And the thing that's good now is that players can come out and get on the tour like a Jordan Spieth, wins and win. You know, like Curtis Strange in our day, it took him 4 years, I think, to get on tour.
Wow.
Couldn't qualify, so he was going all over Europe trying to.
Curtis
And he was the
Strange,
best player in the
I
country.
remember
Yeah.
Curtis Strange at a Monday qualifier, didn't know where to register. Cause he had always gotten sponsor exemptions those early years.
Oh, man.
He didn't know how or where to go and,
Where did you send him?
Pardon me?
Where did you send him?
But I was glad that he came back and had a good career. But literally, when it takes you 4 years to get on the tour, your confidence gets knocked down quite a bit, and it would take a while to really build your confidence. So it's a miracle that guys could actually hang in there and stay with it. I had 3 or 4 guys. They said, "I'm out. I'll see you later, man. I'm done." And they were, I thought, better players than me, so
It happened a lot.
anyways.
So, Mark, you and Dave fell out of touch.
Yes, actually, when Dave beat me, and we shook hands, we had the award ceremony. Dave went to Arizona State, and I had one more year left of high school, and we were in different conferences and things like that. So we did see each other.
You were at Wake Forest when you went to school together.
First year, yes. And, you know, when Gia contacted us, you know, it's just amazing 50 years later. And for Dave to invite me to stay at his house prior to the match today, is just fantastic. It's all about reconnecting, and not only reconnecting with Dave, but making new friends at the club. So, and I'm just totally amazed at the history that you keep here on everything.
Thank you.
So,
Yeah, for the record.
Gia.
Jim thanked everybody on the Heritage Committee. I won't speak for everybody else on the Heritage Committee, but she did the work. So.
Yeah, well, we all have, it was a group.
Yeah. So, what happened for you two guys? I know, Dave, you made a career out of golf.
Yeah, I lost my tour card after 1 year. He came out the next year. So I played 78, he came out 79.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I don't think I tried maybe one more time, but I was so blessed and as a club professional. Someone says Mark was playing Asia. There wasn't really a good European tour at the time, but
Yeah.
someone said my name and I got a call, and I've had 2 interviews in my 7 jobs. Very blessed.
Yeah.
So I went right into the club business at Palm Springs in the winter, Jackson Hole in the summer, Denver Country Club. Oak Hill was my final assistance position, working for O'Harmon.
Wow.
And then I got placed at Albany for a first tech pro job for 11 years. Got invited by a member to join his small little group to build a club. That was fun. That was really everyone's dream to get involved in it, grounds up. And then Philadelphia heard about it, and it got lured me down to Philadelphia. All these years, my wife Linda, where is she? We've been married 40 years, 3 children, 2 of them are here today. Thank you so much.
And grandson.
My grandson is here. But what I'm saying is Linda always followed me, of course, and she landed great club jobs when I did too. When I worked at Denver, she worked at Columbine, you know?
Oh, wow.
When I worked at Oak Hill, she worked at Brook Lee. So, I've been blessed. Yeah, I've been blessed. I retired about 10 years ago.
I did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, nobody would hire me anymore. Is that
Are you in journalism? I can't remember. Yeah. That sounds familiar. Chip, when you look at what has happened to professional golf over the last 24 months, but really from Monday Rabbits to today, is it still on the correct arc? Do you see this ending well with the way things have?
Well, I would like to see the tours unite.
Yeah.
I think it would be better if the PGA Tour and the PGA of America reunited, and that way we would have more of a unified front against any oncomer that thinks they're better than the PGA Tour. And because I don't think anybody can really compete with the hospitality of our clubs and our communities that raise money, whether it's Phoenix, Dallas, any city, you just can't beat them. And so I would like to see that unified, but also I'd like to think that I know that Rotella was telling me that the children today have had so much success so quickly, there are more family problems than he's ever seen. So that's a challenge for kids and for people coming up through golf. Just naturally and normally, you're gonna have issues, but with all the money, it loses its the real joy of the game is the people you meet, the enjoyment of trying to hit a good golf shot. You know, it's not the music, it's not the circus, it's not that. For me, it's golf.
Yeah.
And so I made most of my friends around golf. I mean, one of my good friends was Lee Brandenburg. I met him in 1979. We played the Bob Hope together, and we've been friends ever since. You know, but he just passed away. But there are so many great people around golf. So I hope they don't lose all that, because most of the guys have their private planes and they're gone and they're separated from. They want it to be a big community, right? And all the kids together and all, but it's not really that way in my opinion. So I'd like to see a little more progress in the development of young players, and so that's just my personal feeling. And what's amazing to me is I feel like the teaching is still very. It's not as good as it could be, because most of the people that are in golf, like even Jim Suddy was rewriting the PGA of America handbooks for the last 25 years, and the grip wasn't a fundamental. And so the grip is the most important fundamental.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is that we should progress in these areas. So you don't have a Jordan Spieth going out there who's a child prodigy, or a Paula Kramer that's got all these funky ideas with these grips, and they're all hurt now. And that's all they need to play just 5 years, and they make all the money they'll ever need. But it's not fun being a Jordan Spieth and playing mediocre.
Yeah.
He's been so good, and growing up in Texas, beating everybody, they were afraid to fix his grip, fix him where he could.
Yeah.
Because he's pretty much a rank amateur when it comes to hitting. It's hard to believe.
Oh my God.
And I asked Tom Kite about it. I said, Tom, how does it happen? How can a kid come out of Texas playing with that weaker grip? Or Morikawa like that? He's hurt every week. You know, if he comes in the ball like this, there's no way you could play like that for any length of time.
Yeah.
And so I'd like to see the standards of and the knowledge of the golf swing improve. You know, because I think in my day you were starting to get really good studies out there, and people that did their own empirical research, and then they were able to actually get better grips in Europe. So the kids started getting better. They wouldn't come out there like Eamon Darcy with all the movement, you know.
Yeah.
They were gifted kids all over the place, but it's hard to make it if your fundamentals are just so hard to reproduce and hard to, so I see a lot of growth in the game, but I see a lot of things just staying the same. It's like, wow, why'd they get better? Like if Jordan Spieth could have hit the ball anywhere near what Tiger Woods is doing, he'd have broken all his records. Because I think Jordan Spieth is probably the best putter since Bobby Jones. He putted so good, I couldn't believe how good he putted. And then, Tiger Woods had the best years in putting.
Yeah, sure.
And the best 10 years in golf, probably. So anyways, that's just my feeling on it. But I would just like to see guys play for the love of the game and the joy that comes from, the friendships and the real joy of hitting great shots.
Well,
Not necessarily the money you make, right?
That kind of brings it full circle. That's, you guys started this way, and we're all here because we all love golf, and we all love,
Without a doubt.
being around each other on the golf course. So, thank you.
Great.
Thanks for being here. It's
No,
been
thank
Any
you.
questions?
Joy for-
Anybody have any
Anybody
questions?
Thank you. Thank our general manager down here, right?
We have a silly question.
I have a silly question. Did either of you think, I'm gonna go to the Goodwill and I'm gonna recreate my Seriously, did you not think I am going in
It's hard to find
We were
double
thinking about
nuts.
that.
I know you would have found out.
And he had a crazy shirt, I
If
did
we
not
were
like him to
going
wear
to-
it. I said, "You're
The
crazy if you
picture in the
wear it."
clubhouse with the party looked pretty amazing too, didn't it?
Yeah.
With the bell bottoms
Yeah.
and that was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Fun.
Where is that?
Wow, I was oblivious to all that though. I don't remember any of that.
I'm right here. Whether you
How do you hear us? How do you hear when I'm asking a question and your name is in the
I
question?
don't know.
The hats to sign.
I
I've
can
got
give
them.
To Gia.
Yeah, I have them, so, yeah,
Okay.
thank you, got them.
You wanna mention them or present them or?
They're in the car.
Hey, Jim, thanks for having me though. I feel like I got to know you because I always was looking forward to hearing from you. So thank you. And Jim, thank you the same way.
Sure.
Thank you.
So,